Hello, I'm Linda Moore Amos, interim president of something called IEAC, the International Evaluation Academy. This is module six of your program, and I am here to talk about the IEAC. So let's begin. All right. So why IEAC? Well, it's a move to transform evaluation, to transform also through evaluation. It's an organization representing all evaluators, advocating on behalf of all evaluators. And the focus is on those global issues of our time. So it seeks to conduct transformational evaluations, and through that, to increase the influence of evaluation and to further professionalization of evaluation. So we envision, what is it? We envision a global movement of volunteers, those involved in evaluation, who are dedicated to the principles of evaluation, influence, professionalism, and transformative impact. So we are, in some senses, like a typical of evaluation academy, and in others, we're very different from traditional academies. So we think that we fill a gap in the traditional evaluation architecture. We're the only scientific discipline that does not have an academy. So there is a gap there. And again, we're tasked to evaluate the impact of public, private, civil society on problems without passport that are plaguing the world. So we will talk more about these parts of IEAC and its mission. So the origins of this idea, the concept of an International Evaluation Academy has been kicked around for the past few years. In 2019, a concept note on IEAC was presented. And the presentation resulted in being mentioned in the Prague Declaration that came out, was the outcome of the conference. And this said, let's explore this concept of an International Evaluation Academy. We set out to see really what support was there. You know, the conference was great, but did we have broader support? And so we designed a survey to go to IGS members and other evaluation listservs with which we were familiar. And the survey results did confirm broad support for the concept and broad support for moving forward with this idea of an academy. So over the past month since then, we have been organizing, and it's taking us a while to organize such an organization. I am so proud to be able to say that as of this month of March 2022, we are a registered UK charity. We are a charitable incorporated organization within the UK and Wales. And that's not a easy thing to come by. We have a three-part organization. One, the trustees or the board of directors. Second, the council, and the fellows who are to come. Now, in some of the possible activities of IEAC, there's overlap. We know there's overlap with those of you involved in this boot camp effort or your evaluation societies. And so we're establishing IEAC on the principle of subsidiarity. That means that we seek cooperation with other evaluation organizations that share the same purposes and values, and that we won't necessarily take the lead in all our initiatives. Right? We will work through partnerships. I think we already have broad partnership agreements with IOCE and IDEAS. So we established a vision, right? A world where evaluation is an integral part of government, civil society, and private sector efforts, and importantly, towards a just, sustainable world. We made IEAC to be inclusive. We've designed it for inclusivity, but it is inclusive, ambitious, and above all, activist. It's an activist venture to promote evaluation excellence, advocacy, and social relevance dedicated to evaluation transformation. We have a set of values that we refer to as ICEY: integrity, compassion, courage, competence, and above all, inclusivity. Most traditional scientific academies are elitist. They are based, their purpose of being is prestige. Right? They only allow in, it means something if you've been let in, that you've reached a level of prestige based on all your accomplishments. We are not a traditional academy in that sense. We are inclusive. That is our value, and I'll talk more about that. So we, of course, embrace the major evaluation landmarks that have recently taken place. And we aim, our purpose is to unleash the potential of new ideas in the evaluation space, to strive for innovation as we seek to accelerate change in global evaluation. So the trustees set policy directions, they have oversight of everything, they're responsible for everything. And they set the overall strategic direction of the academy to transform, and through that to influence and professionalize. The council advises the board and develops the thematic strategies and programs, and will manage the initiatives as they come. Right now, for example, after much work, the council has decided on themes, which at least for now will start off as being decolonization of evaluation, indigenous evaluation, climate change, food programs, evaluation as a science, and evaluation research. The latter to help establish and evaluate evaluation as a scientific discipline. So the program, there are the programs, right now I'll call them 6 in number, and each of those programs will have a set of initiatives under it. These are the building blocks that make for more of the sum of their parts and will address the programs. Fellows will work along with council members on these initiatives. Some of them may be initiatives derived from the council, some may be initiatives directly from the fellows. Any initiative will have to have a concept paper behind it, and that concept paper will need approval before it can proceed. So everyone is very curious about our business model, since we are saying that we cannot be fee-based. And we cannot be fee-based because it is not consistent with our model of inclusivity. So while most scientific academies have to raise funds, we have to raise more funds. And we hope soon, now that we are registered, that we can start our Friends of the Academy movement and seek donations from governments and international organizations and private corporations. We will need that to sustain the Academy. We do have a small anonymous donation that's covering our initial startup and admin costs. We have a small secretariat. And it also covers the small grants program that I'll talk about in a minute. So as part of its business model, IEAC will also engage in 2 other major activities which will be compensated. The first is that it will take on commissions for truly independent evaluations of problems without passport that are paid for activity. These are paid for evaluations. They will not engage, IEAC will not engage in, IEAC will not engage in activities that are user directed. Those typical activities, we have someone commission the evaluation. Very often they're also managing the evaluation that is conducted by consultants. We will steer clear of those and focus on truly independent evaluations. Second, it will also have expert evaluation services. It could be work on testimony, on commissions, on advising, and that is also expected to be remunerated activity. In other words, again, that will be paid for work. So that is essentially the business model. I mentioned a minute ago the small grants program, and we do have startup money for small grants program. So for those initiatives under a particular thematic program that have an approved concept paper, they may be eligible for up to $10,000 in small grants. And the idea of the small grants is to help move from the concept paper stage to the proposal stage so that these can go out for fundraising. And so mostly the grants are viewed as facilitating the design of initiatives under specific programs. And it may be that we may get some independent ideas coming in from fellows outside the council initiatives. It's doubtful that any of them could be done for 10,000, so they would go through the same process of seeking approval of a concept paper. So who are our fellows? Everyone is our fellows who has some significant involvement in evaluation and is willing to volunteer. And we're talking about a volunteer commitment of a minimum of 7 days a year. We're an activist organization. If you can't give time, then we're sorry, but we're not the right organization for you. So we want those eminent thinkers. We want those movers and shakers of our evaluation profession. We want highly experienced evaluators. We also want mid-career evaluators or evaluation practitioners. We want young and emerging evaluators. We want them all. And again, no fees charged to join. What we are thinking is our process for getting into the academy won't be that stringent, but after 3 years, that's where we'll put our effort to see what has been achieved. What have you done to contribute to the academy's goals? And there would be probably a peer review committee looking into that and deciding whether or not you can remain a fellow or not. And so we're working out these processes now. We have a fellowship committee that is working to define this. So we, again, are under transforming, influencing, professionalizing. Our initial efforts are focusing on transformation. And when we talk about transforming, it is in pursuit of systemic social transformation. changing mindsets, and so forth. All this, we hope, and this seeking to promote equity will help grow the influence and professionalization of evaluation. So the board's been at work, as I said, developing a lot of policies and procedures. We have developed a website, I'm glad to say, and it's now public. The council has been very busy conducting mapping exercises and developing those thematic programs which reflect those 3 priorities. A lot of interaction now between the board and the council. So I think I'm way over my 10 minutes. So I'm going to stop here, but I encourage you to go to our website, which has a lot more information about IEAC. And I want to thank you much for your attention. And as always, I am happy to answer questions about IEAC. Thank you.